So I have used this radio for a couple of weeks and really like it. I'm coming back today to do some touch-up work. First thing I plan to do is to install these gap fillers on the side of the radio, so it will look more like professionally installed. And this iPod wire is going to go to the underside of this center console and probably come out from the bottom here. Another thing I intend to do is the backup camera. I'm going to install this and run the wire to it, and also the TV antenna. The TV antenna might be a little tricky because I tend to think the farther away from the engine, the better the signal, because coming from the spark plugs you see some electromagnetic interferences. So I want to wire it to the back side of the car, but this wire is not quite long enough. So what I'll do is probably just hook it up and then watch it and see how bad it is. If it's not too bad, I'll just probably do it somewhere here. Okay, so the first thing I'll do is pull this panel off. Done it so many times I can use bare hand and pull it off now. There you go. Now, take this back. Alright, this comes off, and then it's the same 10 millimeter. Alright, here we're continuing. I'll just use this to take all the bolts out. So now all 6 hex bolts are out. I should be able to slide it out. Alright, just like that. Then next step is disconnect all the harnesses from the backside. So it's disconnected. And look at the back side. Looks like I will need to loosen this bracket here and slide the radio out, and then slide this piece in. I will have to do it somewhere else since this whole piece is out. So I can do this portion out of the place. That's nice. Alright, now the radio can slide out. Okay, it took me quite a while to fit these 2 gap fillers in. It has not been a very easy job. Finally I got them in, but at this point I'm not quite sure it's going to cause any front panel jam or not. You really have to take all these 2 side brackets off to slide these 2 fillers in. Now I have to put these 2 pieces back together. It'll take me a little bit. I'll put these 2 brackets up, and then I'll take it back to the car and see how it fits. So, it has not been very easy to fit these 2 gap fillers in. I ended up having to remove these 2 brackets here, the brackets on the left and the right side. You have to remove these and then slide them in. Right now at this point I'm not sure it's going to cause any jam or not, the jam of the front panel. So what I'll do is, before I go too far, I'm going to connect the radio back in and test it, turn the power on and see if it'll cause any jam. If it does, I'll have to adjust it. So, alright, that is in, and so let's turn on the power and find out. Doesn't sound very right. I think something's jamming it. So, see, it's not a good sign. Alright, the front panel wouldn't close all the way just now. The reason is the radio was set too far back, and when the front panel tried to close, the top edge is hitting the frame. So, and I ended up having to do a lot of adjustment. So let's see how it works now. So, seems to be working okay. Closes all the way now. Let's try it again. Alright, so let's shut the volume down. So if you have to do it, my advice would be, see this gap filler here? Just keep this front piece. Cut the supporting bracket off and throw it away, and just use a little bit double-sided tape to keep it in place. It's not going to go anywhere because it's kind of wedged in between the radio and the frame. That'll be very easy. Okay.